and welcome back to the IWAR Network Tubecast. I'm your host, NWL and IWL Commissioner Alex G. And with me, as always, our Commissioner, Matt Riley. How you doing tonight, Matt?
Oh, I'm just bombastic.
Okay, a lot of mercy. Shaggy reference. That probably no one will ever get. So today's episode will be the March cycle in review. But first, real quick, since we do have a lot of new listeners and new managers to the IWA, hey, Matt, do you want to give us some histrionics on the birth of the IWA and what it is exactly?
The IWA, well, for all our new listeners, the IWA was established in 1985 by Johnny B. out of Willowick, Ohio. He was a teacher who liked games, so he created a game about wrestling that involved chants and picking holds and all that jazz, and he did it with his students first, and then it grew in popularity. He tried it as a play-by-mail game, and poof, it took off. So the IWA, if you don't know what it is, it's essentially where Dungeons and Dragons role-playing meets pro wrestling, with an added air of unpredictability for the hold values. So, for instance, if you use a DDT and I use a figure 4, maybe yours is worth more points than mine, but we won't know until the match happens. So it involves strategy and creativity, and the IWAR network came out of the IWA, got a bunch of leagues together, and kind of combined our forces to make a little pocket of the game that was more the way the game used to be back in the 80s and 90s at the highlights of the games. And you know what? It's a fun time. We have a lot of fun with it. So the IWAR Network Tubecast is sort of our way of recapping the action and helping new players into the game. And if you're new, be sure to like the videos, tell us what you think. We're very open to feedback, and we like to hear good or bad. So if you're like, no, that sucked, tell us what you didn't like so we can work on it. And if you liked it, tell us what you liked so we can go, hey, that works, and keep that. So yeah, we're happy to have you.
And for those of you interested in joining the IWA, go to playiwa.com and you can see all the information on how you sign up there.
And as a new player, you get put into a rookie league, gives you time to learn the game, and we'll send you our How to Win, the IWA sheet that discusses tips on how to win and do better in the game as a whole. So we hope you'll give it a try, and if you're trying it now, let us know what you think so we can make it a better experience.
All right, fantastic. Let's start off with the BRL League Champion, the Misfit Messiah, TV Champion, Vicious Vincent Payne, Atlantic Champion, Bart Whiskey, Central Champion, Sam Whiskey, Dixie, Product of Arrogance number 2, Eastern, Jim Whiskey, Mountain, Queen Isabella, Northern, the Russian Rocket, Alexei Smirnov, Pacific, Felix, Nine Lives, Beneventura, Prairie, Jerry, Southern, Product of Arrogance number 1, Western, Sharpshooter, Jake Scarlett, Tag Team, Sharpshooter, Jake Scarlett, and the Russian Rocket, Alexei Smirnov, TV Tag Team, Dark Phoenix, FS, and the legendary Frank Leatherman Snow. Six-man, Jake Scarlett, El Dragon de Oro, and the Russian Rocket, Alexei Smirnov. TV six-man, Sax Gotha, Nature Boy Tommy Yandel, and Duke Nukem. So, Matt, what's going down in the BRL?
Oh, there's a lot going down, let me tell you. Action-packed, and as we just saw today in the IWA sneak peek for the next majors, not only did Misfit Messiah take the American Championship, not only did he take the Metropolitan or the Gold Fed, he took all three, and the IWA Championship, which makes back-to-back for all those awards for Nightmare Sam Hell and then Misfit Messiah, run by Keith Maple. So that makes back-to-back world champions, which I believe is the first time that has ever happened that the champions came from the same league in back-to-back cycles. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of action. Vicious Vincent Payne the TV title. If he does it again, he ties the record for consecutive TV title reigns set by Superstar Rick Riley back in 1990. There's a lot going on in here as we ramp up towards WrestleRama, which the matches were held this cycle. They'll be written up, so our next issue of the IWAR 85 will include all of the match write-ups. Trash talk-wise, we had quite a bit happening. We had some standoffs between Tommy Berkowitz, Handsome Harley Leather, the Berkowitz brothers, and Adam Cash and Fatty the Butcher. El Barbero got attacked by Frank Snow. So he attacked Leather Fox. There were multiple sneak attacks by the Disciples of Doom and Army declaring war on the BRL, attacking all sorts of people. Liam Larrikin making some comments towards Ghostly Shadows and his matchup coming up. Frank Snow and Adam Cash exchanging words again over their match at WrestleRama. Money-driven Mike Sebastian finally responded after months of getting attacked by 5% Spanish Matt Rodriguez and had some really strong words for him. The Mountain Men, Elijah and Willie, had another strong promo. This time they've introduced El Barbero as a new member for a team with Willie called Los Rudos. We had some interesting words from Canadian Hammer, Gunnar Molson and Jimmy North, who prepared for their big matches at WrestleRama, and an odd invitation to Pete Bartlett to join the Canadian Nation, as he is also Canadian. Dapper Dan D talking with Rick Riley, who alluded to something rather unusual as he dropped hints at a reunion of sorts that would be very bad, so we'll see if that holds true. Saskatchewan Sasquatch, still mentioning Mad Dog Dick Jackson. This guy needs a dance partner. Someone's got to get after that guy, because going after a guy who's retired is not doing it. It's true. El Barbero, another funny promo. I enjoy El Barbero's work. I'm a mark for him. See here, Sir Gunther, of course, thumping his chest. Nightmare Sam Howell talking about the big win, which actually, with Misfit Messiah now makes 4 wrestlers who have won the IWA title of the BRL. Sam Howell, Sir Gunther, Stone Barrington, and Misfit. The Suburban Hell Savages continue to push the envelope with their many feuds across the league. Ghostly Shadows, time to call out a couple of people, namely Liam Larrikin. He's still going after him. Duke Nukem, FL Slobberknocker, had some words of warning to Adam Cash. We got Catfish Rob going off. We didn't get a sequel to the Nude Attack, thankfully, but Jane Red talked about her UWL World Championship she won for finishing that contest. We had some more mystery drops about the Randy the Ram real identity / what happened to him. Luther Alexander called out Punk Rock Mike as they prepared for their big series finale in the 3rd match. And we had a drawing of Jane the Vixen Red looking firm. See the nice scar on her knee. Whatever. We had the End Games attack Luther Alexander. Still not happy with him. So lots going on.
Are they heels?
We'll take a quick PSA. Many players come to us and say things like, hey, I've gone after so-and-so. They haven't responded. Or, they write themselves up like a good guy. They go out and demolish a guy with a steel chair attack and tell him, well, I'm the good guy. We're not telling you how to be a good guy or a bad guy, because that is an argument for the day. But essentially, if you're going to attack other bad guys as the bookers, if we have a bad guy going after a good guy, and then a random bad guy is attacking another random bad guy, or a guy acting like a bad guy and then trying to play the good guy role, it makes it kind of puzzling. It would be like watching Captain America shoot people and then yell at the Punisher for killing people. Like, you wouldn't see that. Sorry, I just watched Daredevil, so, it's in my head. Excellent series, by the way. And just a note for the creative aspect of things, a little constructive criticism. We like seeing random attacks, we like seeing stuff, but one of the big no-nos in the game is when you write someone else's character completely out of character. Like, for example, it'd be like having Luther Alexander be at a quilting contest. Like, he just wouldn't do that. Although maybe he would, he's crazy. But, totally off character, so it makes it really random and bizarre. And I often see people do these attacks where a person's already been tied up and beat up and these over-the-top attacks to them, but the person's defenseless. Well, if you want me to believe the feud's legit, attack them, beat them up. Really make it worth your while. We want to read something fun and entertaining. So I would say keep those guidelines in mind. If you want to play the bad guy, play the bad guy. But pick a side. Because the thing about tweeners is only a few people can really pull off a tweener, and everyone else just looks like jerks. So that's my PSA. As far as the BRL's championships go, Punk Rock Mike retained the 3rd match win over Luther Alexander to retain the global championship. Shocker Jimmy Electric upset Mr. 187 Tony Dime to take the IC title. Chief Bold Gray Fox took down Rick Riley to capture the Canadian championship, and Team EMC / Army were defeated by Alexei Smirnov and Jake Scarlett by 1 point. So that series was super tight. So we have new global tag team champions. So there you have it.
Very nice. So next up is the CWL Unified Champion, Nameless Minion of Solace number 4. Streaming media, Clark Pierpont. United States, Solace. Yukon, Nameless Minion of Solace number 1. Caribbean, Forgotten Vagrant. Amazon Basin, Bing Blank number 2. British Isles, Assyrian Assassin Abuga.
Yep.
Arabian, Nameless Minion of Solace number 3. South African, Milton Snodgebuster. Siberian, Victor von Schnapp. East Asian, Pokey Mixnail. Oceanic, Axel von Schnapp. Unified Tag Team, Alex and Axel von Schnapp. Streaming Media, Milton Snodgebuster, Pokey Mixnail. Unified 6-Man, Victor, Alex and Axel von Schnapp. And Streaming Media, 6-Man, Railroad Warrior, Hammer, Ty, and Spike. So Matt, what's going down at the CWL?
Well, title page news. Important to know that the Von Schnapps took the IWA tag titles.
Holy crap.
For the 5th time, which I believe is a record. So, as a duo. I'm sure people have won, more times, but as a team, I don't think anyone's more championships. And I'd happily go to a IWA title database, but no one's got the energy to actually put it together. So that's, in lieu of that, I'll take credit. Good for me. In other news, see here. So Untamed Iron Bull has been talking a lot, and now he's starting to build up his fan base and set things up going forward. I think we're going to see some big turns. CWL gives me that feeling like we're about to watch some stuff go down, so it's about to happen. So we have a couple of things going on. The Railroad Warriors have been very vocal and picking people apart, but also being cautious. Then we have Norman Spivey with the Blanks. He's been really pushing them to get them to win more. They came in like house of fire, winning the tag titles and the IWA tag titles their first cycle in the CWL, but they've been quiet since. The Von Schnapps talked about putting family first, and they're concerned for their brother Alec in the IWL. We'll get to that later. Oh, we've got Steve Chambers beating up Dagger Bomb, poor guy. Killer Clown talking about the fans and causing trouble. He's a volatile character. He's fun to read. We've got Koenig calling on Harry Hoodstar, Railroad Warriors calling on Harry Hoodstar, but also keeping their distance. And of course, there's a lot going on. There's a big pay-per-view coming up. We're going to see a lot of big action. So it just went down. So you can go to the CWL Facebook page and check out all the results. So if you go to the CWL Facebook page, you'll see the results, and it's pretty good.
So up next is the IWL League Champion, Triple X Extreme Xavier Jimenez, Television Magnum TL, New York City Primetime Alex Styles, Los Angeles Graham Underwood, Boston Crazy Carl, Detroit The Great Equalizer Marlon Briggs, Cleveland Black Demon Jr., Dallas Kennedy Cage, Memphis The Damager Marcus Fury, Miami Tim Riggins III, San Francisco Koenig, Chicago JJ Dallas, Tag Team Alex Styles and Xavier Jimenez, TV Tag Team Graham Underwood and Kennedy Cage, 6-Man Phantom Striker Van Def Valen and The Shadow Tony Lowen, and Television 6-Man Alex Styles, Xavier Jimenez, and Dylan Matthews. So Matt, what's going down in the IWL?
Well, as always, I will defer to the man behind the reins.
Not Roman Reigns now.
No. Well, I'll say there's a lot going on. IWL is a fun league to play in. There's a lot of mayhem and anarchy going on. I will say, first off, the Empire of Chaos, we had hopes for them to really show, those guys in the regulators to show themselves as good character, turn the corner and show themselves. But instead, they went and jumped Alec von Schnapp and beat him up, the popular youngster. So it was a tough cycle for them because they lost their IWAR World Tag Team Championships to the EMC Army military guys. Jim Spur announced that his match against Scotty Flash at Wrestle Riot, if he doesn't win, he will leave. But if he wins, then he will demand to have his valet fire.
Don't get burned now.
No.
Ew.
Marcus Monroe, hearing voices in the overhead mocking him, telling him he's being watched. Crazy Carl has another interview. Luther Alexander, more shots of him in the Speedo. He's trying to recover from losing his uncle. It's a tough time for him. Phantom Striker making some sneak attacks here. Someone beating up Alec Von Schnapp with a baseball bat. It's just a tough time for that kid. We had some.
He might need reinforcements.
Yeah, it might be time to call in the army, the cavalry. Alec Von Schnapp also, it was interesting because right before he got attacked, he basically called out the Regulators and Empire Chaos, telling them to knock it off, trashing the Von Schnapp name. So who knows what's going to happen there. An unusual twist, Lady Xanadu gave a promo when Atari could not be found, the Arabian Dream and Lee Atari. She admitted that she likes wearing chains, so that was interesting. We had JJ Dowles and TJ Relic continuing their push to make names for themselves, youngsters against the Empire of Chaos. Pretty Paul Omega, who's come in and he's done a lot of talking and really trying to make a name for himself as well. He only grabbed one title so far, though, but, still early. Of course, the great David and Koenig, really pushing the envelope. And, of course, Andrew Jefferson Kaufman trying to get his taxes done, and, of course, mayhem ensues.
Hilarity
ensued, yes. Mike Mason is back cheating again, so that's good. And, of course, Marcus Monroe had some strong words. So it's a lot going on. You could probably add some more to it from there, I'm sure.
Chock full of shenanigans and tomfoolery.
Yes.
Apparently, we had some leaked photos of Luther Alexander and Samantha Soley, who is the IWL executive producer. I don't know how legitimate that picture is. Looks like a bad Photoshop was done on that, but I guess we'll get some reaction about that shortly. Luther did make the cover of Guts magazines, claiming that the kinship, they're wussies. That's always nice to see.
Yeah.
And then we have a ominous picture of Senior Lucha that says, "Tell the World Lucha." So we're going to assume that was sent in by the Black Demon Jr.
Yes.
Again, most important thing coming up will be Wrestle Riot, and I will quickly go over the card for Wrestle Riot as it stands today. Card is subject to change. We have Great David taking on Luther Alexander for the IWL Heavyweight Championship, and an Elimination Chamber match for the American Territories Championship. Koenig taking on James Carnage, Crazy Carl, Alec Von Schnapp, and Magnum TL. And the IWL Tag Team Championship match, we have the Regulators taking on Lowen and Valens. In an Inferno match, we have Jim Sparrow taking on Scotty Flash.
Yes.
We have the Empire of Chaos taking on the Chaotix in a 6-man match. In the 6-man cage match, we have the Rough Boys and Senior Lucha taking on Black Demon Jr. and John and Isaac Slaughter. Also, we have Senior Lucha taking on Crimson Grim, and that will be for the number 1 contender spot for the IWL Heavyweight Championship, and it is the final for the Elite 8 tournament. In addition, we have the 20-man Wrestle Riot Rumble. Prizes yet to be determined. I'm working on that as we speak. And those will be 20 men who are not currently on the pay-per-view card will make an appearance on the pay-per-view in the 20-man Wrestle Riot Rumble, which is a 20-man battle royal, come as you are, bring weapons to the ring type matchup. So Wrestle Riot really shaping up to something special. It's really good to see. I'm really intrigued with Marcus the Monster Monroe. He will be next cycle's cover boy, post to post. So there you go, a little spoiler for everyone there. That is pretty sweet. We had Phantom Striker and Luther Alexander take out Crazy Carl. It looks like he's done from Revolution Extreme, but we'll find out more about that as the cycles move on here. Again, we're continuing with the saga of Luther Alexander's long-lost family, who came to visit to him in his house as he prepares for his match at Wrestle Riot. So again, guys, fantastic TT this cycle. Please keep it up. I like where everything is going and where we're heading currently. So I'm really excited stuff. Okay. Next up is the NWL League Champion, Drunken Camper, TV Champion Mr. Shots, Atlantic, The Patriots, Central, Alpha Male XD, Dixie the Assassin, Eastern Strictly Business, Mountain Commander Fox, Northern Vic Villain, Pacific, The Dumpling King, Daniel Tran, Prairie Lord Drama, Southern Ricky Kyle, Western Bombshell Warrior, Tag Team Alpha Male XD and The Patriots, TV Tag Team Winston Smith Jr. and Ricky Kyle, 6-man Alpha Male XD, Whitey White, and The Patriots, TV 6-man Texas Edge, Winston Smith Jr. and Ricky Kyle. And for us, right off the bat, we can see here on the title page is that currently Winston Smith Jr. and Ricky Kyle are engaged in a feud, and they won the TV Tag Team Championship. So we'll see how that goes from there. Nothing like to have two partners who hate each other win a championship together.
Yeah.
Speaking of partners who hate each other, this cycle coming up will be the first round of the Lethal Lottery Tournament, where 4 teams will compete in single elimination matchups to determine the new number 1 contender for the NWL National Tag Team Championship. In shocking news, we had Lion Mask, who defeated Johnny Vegas to win the Rising Star Championship. So congratulations to Lion Mask. In addition, we had Mark Malice, who defeated Joe Boring, and so Mark Malice will get a shot at Black Belt Jones for the NWL National Championship. Guys, we also have Rumble in the Bronx. That'll be coming up in 4 cycles from now. And the Rumble in Bronx, what that is, it's a battle royal where the ring is elevated an additional 20 feet off the ground, and ringside is surrounded with barbed wire, tacks, rusted nails, and live scorpions.
Oh, jeez.
So you can imagine how much these guys do not want to get eliminated. Again, the winner of that match will receive a shot at the NWL National Championship. The prize will be the biggest prize ever in NWL history. I'm going to I'll tell everyone what that is now. The prize for Rumble in the Bronx will be $50 in IWA credit. Holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah. Huge prize, everyone. Again, it's going to be $1 for everyone to sign up. Please do not forget. Again, leave a note on your match selection sheet, or just send an email or a note separately, because you want to get into this event. Again, $50 IWA credit is a whole lot of cash. Also, just signed moments before we went on the air.
My God.
For the NWL National Championship, it will be whoever the champion is, either Mark Malice or Black Belt Jones, taking on Winston Smith Jr. for the championship. Holy hell.
Whoa.
Well, look at that. So that will be our main event for the Rumble in the Bronx. Overall, guys, TT was really good. We had a nice bounce back cycle this cycle. I think everyone's really getting into their characters. Again, one of my favorites being Joe Boring, of course.
Yeah.
I like to see where the Ricky Kyle and Winston Smith Jr. Feud is going. Black Belt Joe is not taking any kind of tomfoolery and shenanigans, and he is the law and order of the NWL. And if any of these new guys coming in think they're going to be back jumping or beating people down, he will take offense with that, and they will be dealt with accordingly.
Yes.
So, Matt, what are your thoughts on the NWL?
Well, there's some new talent coming in, so as always. It's a matter of just, who steps up. We had one interesting newcomer. I like the Assassin because of the name, the Assassin. But I liked Art Deco's, by the way.
Yes, that's our new interim commissioner.
So
while Luther is preparing for his match at Wrestle Riot 2017.
So for you newer players, there's a guy here, Gentleman William Worthy, and he is setting up a tournament to figure out who can be his partner. He wants to have some sort of event, the Worthy Invitational. And a British wrestler, it looks like, so we'll see. But he's looking for a tag partner, so if you're in the NWL looking for a tag partner, there's an option.
Okay. I dig it. Oh, yeah. It was at the Drunken Camper. I like his little logo with the Anheuser-Busch Budweiser. I thought that was pretty sweet. A lot of drunks in the NWL. Fuck, dude.
Yeah,
we have a logo from Lockdown, which is awesome. I'm moving on. So Lord Drama is creating the DWO, which is the Drama World Order. It's going to be cool. And we also have a newcomer, Chris Hero, who uses the HKO, which is also known as the Diamond Cutter. So down the Teamster, or one of Teamster's imposters.
Yes, many imitators for Teamster.
Yes.
Sad.
All smelled like mothballs, though.
Yes.
It's weird and slightly gross. All right, so that is the NWL in a nutshell. So, Matt, what do you got for us, IWAR wide?
Well, I mentioned that we had a new IWAR Tag Champions. We also, spoiler alert for the write-up for the WrestleRama, but the spoiler alert is the IWAR World Champion is no longer the Great David. It is now Agent 26 out of the BRL. He was the one who also defeated Hussein Adam Cash to win the Bound for Glory, which gave him the title shot. So he made the most of it. So there you go. Win an event, take your shot, make it count. That was the big thing there. As far as other events, the Murano and Johnny B Cup will be launching this cycle coming. So I've got to set up the brackets. As usual, I'll set up rivalries for the first round matchups, because that way you don't have to worry about, not having a reason to be motivated to win besides winning. We have some overflow, so I got to figure out first who is in.
I thought you said you had heavy flow, and I was like, that's
yes,
weird.
Heavy Flow, my favorite wrestler. Why isn't that a women's wrestler?
Heavy Flow?
Heavy Flow. Her finisher comes once a month. Come on. It's right there. So, the Murano and Johnny B Cup will be launching soon. The third annual ladder match battle royal will be taking place in the summer. It'll be a 3-cycle event with the best average over 3 cycles winning the prize. We are in the process of probably going. Should we announce this? May as well, right?
Yeah.
To SummerSlam in New York at the Brooklyn Arena thingy.
Barclays Center.
That too. Whatever, I changed his name. Whatever. Yeah. Barclays Center. And Alex and myself are going to go, and we're kind of saying, hey, let's make it an unofficial IWAR con. What's an IWAR con? It's like all the other cons, but with less sadness. Maybe more.
It's still real to me.
Right. So we'll be putting that together, figuring out where we're going to sit that won't be terrible or blinded by lights. And there's a whole bunch of stuff going on that weekend, so it'll be a fun time, a good way to meet each other, have some laughs, and hopefully someone will go through a table.
I'm also going to the Bruce Pritchard show on, I believe it's that Saturday, and that will be live from the Gramercy Theater in Midtown Manhattan.
There it is, all the major news.
You want to go through some Mark kayfabe stuff?
Well, Mark Kayfabe. Well, for those of you that don't know, there's a new columnist in the BRL's report called Mark Kayfabe. And some of you may have noticed the font changes in the reports. I actually went back and found the old IWA font from the 90s and 2000s. So way back. Oh, I almost forgot. The IWAR draft is halfway through. I'll do an update on that next. So the Kayfabe dirt sheet, if you will. The BRL dirt sheet is written by Mark Kayfabe, and what he does is he kind of gives a recap of all the promos and attacks and everything else, and kind of offers his take. So he'll say, like, Gods of War, Odin and Middle Knight join forces from Murano to battle evil. Kayfabe's response to Supernatural is just a show on CW, and we get that Middle Knight versus Ghostly Shadow showdown. And then we have the Kayfabe questions. And the Kayfabe questions are sort of what I would say is an outside observer's look at some of the angles, wondering where they're going. One thing, like for instance, is Catfish Rob going to bring in a big gun to take out Kinderwalk since Jane's been unable to do so? Or what's the deal with Randy the Ram? He retires without notice. Will he be returning someday? So it's kind of a thing of what's going on. Like, as I would call it, a casual fan's guide of what the hell's going on. So that way you can kind of read it and get caught up on what's going on in the league. So if you're like, oh, who's doing what? I don't spend a lot of time saying who's popular, who's hated. It's kind of obvious if you read it. But I think Kayfabe does a good job of handling that. So I don't have to do the popular hated list anymore, really. We do have one for the IWAR that we worked on that'll be coming out this coming cycle. And what we did is we were doing it first like a popular hated list that was easy to just vote or whatever. And we kind of just had, a rough consensus. Then we put it online and made it, okay, you can vote for your top 5 popular hated. So instead of doing this every single month, because not a lot changes month to month. I mean, you might have a turn here or there, but for the most part, people kind of sit in their roles. So what we're doing is quarterly. So we just did essentially what was a spring result. So this will be coming up, this 85th issue on the IWAR page. You're going to see, one, the popular hated, but you're also going to see official new ranks considering the first 4 cycles of the year. And you'll see who made the list and who's doing what. And we compiled it from your votes and then kind of went off who got the most votes, who had the most times being mentioned, and threw it together. So hopefully it'll work out well. Then we'll do it again probably sometime in June. We'll start the voting again, maybe July. And we'll have an August one. And just kind of every 3 or 4 weeks do it again. Or cycles, I should say. Yeah. Oh, and the IWAR draft update. So at halftime, the standings, Touchy-Feely Fingers Fairlane was the leader in the cash department. He had a 205,000 plus earnings. Second was Killer Clown with 180. Then as stars go, we had a lot of people with 2s, but Dr. Victory had 3. So it's anybody's game, really. I mean, a lot can happen. So there's 2 more cycles after this one. So we'll see how it goes, and we're going to have some winners.
Yeah, fantastic. So, guys, one of the things we want to talk about real quick is your questions or statements or suggestions. And we take all suggestions and questions, and we do read them all, and we move from there. But I think as an overall statement is make sure before you ask us a question or make a suggestion that you read your bulletin, read your IWAR magazine, because it's a good possibility that we may have already answered your question there. And I just don't want to clog up, would it be in my inbox or messages with questions that we've already answered already, or contests that we can't do, or contests that's similar to a contest that we're already running. So I just want everyone to be cognizant of that. Just make sure you read your bulletins, and by all means ask your questions. We love answering those, but again, just be considerate.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. There was one post somebody put in the trash talk about wanting a match and then telling who we wanted to be this side, that side, everything. And we've mentioned before on the IWAR page about the mega contest match we're going to do live on Facebook. That had a lot of the same elements. So we were like, yeah. And what happens for us is we get questions. We don't mind getting questions per se, but it's one of those things where if we put it right in the material, just read the bulletin through. We know there's a lot in there, so you're probably going to find it in there. And if you don't, then you want to fire off an email and say, hey, what's going on with this? We know we have a lot packed into the year, events-wise and contest-wise, and we do that on purpose because there's a lot to do and choose from. So we want to keep the game fun, and that way, I always say the thing is when you have a rough cycle, like a couple cycles ago, I had a really, really bad cycle, but I won one of my matches. It was like, yay, for a tournament. So it was like, there's the plus there. So again, if you have a question, feel free to ask, but just always make sure that you've read the material. It kind of self-defeating when you sit there and go, well, I wrote all this stuff and no one's reading it, or apparently no one saw that. So just be sure to make sure you've covered your bases first.
Yes. Anything else to before we finish up for the?
And on that note, we are not the IWA. So if you need name changes, match corrections, etc., ask them.
Please do not send me your credit card information.
Yeah, don't do that either. Yeah, at least happened a couple of times. At least once every few months, I get the irate email about the match not being done right, or strategy not this or that, or something missing, and it's like, I just forward that right on to Kim.
Yeah.
Like there you go. I mean, we always help when we can, but we cannot.
Well, we normally don't get any additional insight for why things happen.
Yeah, it was a couple times things have happened where people are like, why did that happen? And I was in the same boat as everyone else.
I mean, I've had scenarios. It happened to me last cycle when I didn't get, commissioner matches ran.
Yeah, and things happen. But I will say this: I think in the rare circumstance, sometimes what happens is you'll see a post where they say, "Oh, something happened, something didn't get run, and we had to rerun the results, and now you've got to recheck the website because the paper results are based off of erroneous numbers."
Right.
So just be aware that happens sometimes. Usually they're pretty good about announcing it. I would say this: if you don't have email, I would get it. I've had people write to me letters, and it's like, if you write me a letter, include your home address, and I'll write back to you. I usually include my home address when I write back to people, just to make it easier, so we're not playing tag to the IWA because it's $1 every time. Just have them handle your mail and put it in my envelope. Feel free to ask questions, contact us. We're happy to help. We know some players are off the grid, or age-wise they're younger, or whatever situation may be, they don't have access to email or they're not on email. I would say Facebook, we talk about the Facebook page all the time. It's a great interactive resource. If you're one of those off-the-gridders, then open an account under your wrestler's name and let them be the fodder of government tracking if you think that's going on. I don't know. I have this guy here, the Teamster. We better follow that guy.
Mothballs.
Boom, boom, boom.
All right, guys. So we are officially out of time. So for Matt Riley, I'm Alex G.